While you're paying attention to March Madness and a staged distraction of a P. Diddy trial, scientists at CERN are going to be opening a portal between dimensions to satanic entities on April 8th during the eclipse. They're supposed to be searching for the God particle, which is the missing part to the theory of the origin and the maintenance of our world. The actual truth is that they're opening a portal to physically be able to connect to the God of this world and physically bring them into this world, the prince of the power of the air, tearing through the veil between the natural and the supernatural. The location of the Hadron Collider in Geneva, Switzerland is also no coincidence. In Revelation chapter 2, verse 13, it says, "I know where you dwell, where Satan's throne is. And you did not deny the faith even in the days of Antipas, my faithful witness, who was martyred among you where Satan dwells." History tells us that Antipas was martyred in a town of Lyon, which is Geneva, Switzerland. Need some more clues? Also, being the largest Hadron Collider in the world, CERN is partially situated in a town called St. Genus Poli. The name comes from the Latin Apolliacum. And in Roman times, a temple existed in honor of Apollo where CERN sits now. And the people who live there believe that it's a gateway to the underworld. What does Apollo and the root word Apolliacum have to do with the underworld? Buckle up. Revelation chapter 9, verses 1 through 11 says, "Then the fifth angel blew his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen to the earth from the sky. And he was given the key to the shaft of the bottomless pit. When he opened it, smoke poured out as though from a huge furnace, and the sunlight and air turned dark from the smoke. Then locusts came from the smoke and descended on the earth, and they were given power to sting like scorpions. They were told not to harm the grass or plants or trees, but only the people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. They were told not to kill them, but to torture them for 5 months with pain like the pain of a scorpion sting. And for those of y'all who don't know, that hurts. In those days, people will seek death, but will not find it. They will long to die, but death will flee from them. The locusts looked like horses prepared for battle. They had what looked like gold crowns on their heads, and their faces looked like human faces. They had hair like women's hair and teeth like the teeth of a lion." These are some crazy looking creatures, y'all. "They wore armor made of iron, and their wings roared like armies of chariots rushing into battle." This is wild creatures. "They had tails that stung like scorpions, and for 5 months they had the power to torment people. Their king," this is the kicker, "their king is the angel from the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek, Apollyon, the destroyer." All right, y'all, take a look at this one. Now, this is a video of the ceremony that took place, the opening ceremony for the largest tunnel that was dug in the creation of CERN. This one is actually one of the largest tunnels in the world, but this was a ceremony that took place for the opening of that tunnel. Now, the full video is listed below. The link is, I just took some clips of it. It was uploaded by ZigZagStatic. So all credit goes to ZigZagStatic for this. But if you'll look, during the ceremony, they got a portal in the ceremony. Now they're depicting a portal. Now you wonder why that is, right? Keep watching though. You're gonna see also during this ceremony, they're depicting naked people. Now obviously they're covered up in like flesh colored underwear or whatever, but look how they're dancing and convulsing. These are spiritual rituals that they're depicting here. In the meantime, look at that portal in the background. Look at the face that is looking through the portal. This is for the opening ceremony at CERN. Now we're finding particles that help us understand the universe, but if you look at the opening ceremony that they've got to celebrate the opening ceremony to one of the largest tunnels used in the creation of CERN, they're depicting and celebrating something a whole lot different than particle physics. What you are seeing is demonic spiritual rituals. There's witchcraft mixed in this. You've got some kind of white beings. This is a depiction of spirits that are floating there in the middle of that ceremony. Whatever in the world that is, that looks insane. But look at this demon. Look at this demon. Come on now. This is a part of a ceremony for a scientific research center. Stop it. There's a spiritual aspect to this, and it's a whole lot different. The purpose is so much different than they're admitting, but look at this stuff. These are the things that are mentioned in the book of Revelations. The locusts, they're coming out of that portal. Look at this, look at this. They're telling you what this really is. Those are those creatures, they're scarabs. But what they're depicting the creatures that are right there in the book of Revelations is talking about that's supposed to come through the portal. That is insane. In the background, you see the face through the portal. The face is looking through there. In the meantime, you got the demon dancing amongst these creatures that he's got around him. All the women with the long hair, they have the long hair as women. That's what that is. Look, you see the eyes in the portal. The eyes are rotating. That's what angels look like. The watchers look like. If you look them up, the watchers had eyes that rotated in and around each other. So that's a depiction of the watcher spirits that were cast down to earth and their fallen angels. This is the Hindu god Shiva, who is the destroyer according to Hinduism. Him coming through a portal is the statue directly in front of the entrance to CERN. They lie right to our faces and mock us with this stuff. Look at this ritual reenacting human sacrifice. It took place in front of this statue at CERN. Why in the world would they do that? What on earth does this have to do with science? Because the purpose of CERN is far different from what they have told us it is. They put the purpose of this place right at the main entrance for all to see. For places like this, supposedly dedicated to all things science, it's really confusing how they dedicate it and name them after pagan gods. The backbone behind what they're really doing has to do with spiritual entities. With this Hadron Collider being turned on finally at full power, it will become the key to the bottomless pit that is mentioned in Revelations. It's no coincidence that the Collider is being built above the ancient temple to what is actually Apollyon, the king of these demons, above what has been known for centuries to be a key or an opening to the underworld. Sounds pretty freaking wild, but too many things align with Revelations, and here's some more. This is the logo for CERN. Do you recognize these numbers here? 666. These demons cannot physically do things here and of their own in our world, but by removing the veil between the natural and the supernatural, that can change. On April 8th in 1904, Aleister Crowley conjured up the devil known as Iowas, who dictated Crowley's Book of the Law. On the 120th anniversary of that, this historic eclipse is happening. They're going to fire up the Hadron Collider and open up that portal on that day. This goes deeper than science, folks. NASA's also going to be firing rockets at the eclipse. Why? They say that they're measuring atmospheric perturbations around the eclipse path, or APIP. This is the name of the ancient serpent god of darkness and disorder, who's the opponent of light. Look at what this god is supposed to look like. It's no wonder that this program is also called the Serpent Deity Project. Check out what NASA's logo implies. You can't write this stuff or make it up, folks. They always sneak truth out there in some way or another. So CERN is partially built over the town of St. Genus Pauli at the site where the temple to Apollo once stood. Both names come from the word Apolliacum, which is an alteration of the Greek name Apollyon, who is the destroyer, the king of demons mentioned in the Bible, which says that he will be given the key to the bottomless pit, which has been rumored for centuries to be in this town under the current location of CERN. The courtyard in front of CERN has a statue of Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction, coming through a portal. And on Monday, April 8th, the day of the eclipse, NASA will be firing rockets into the eclipse during a project named after Apep, the Egyptian serpent god of destruction and darkness, the enemy of light. They're telling us who the being is that they're trying to connect to, and they're in the right location to do it. They're trying to bring their God into this world, and the Bible foretells that it's going to happen. Look what happens in the skies over CERN when they fired up the Hadron Collider at partial power. This will be a massive and stable portal when they fire it up at full power during the eclipse.
That bottomless pit is a portal that they opened that demons was able to come out because the atmosphere had been set to darkness, and so because there was no light, talk to me, that demons could inhabit, manifest, and feel comfortable in this realm.
People are still going to fight tooth and nail not to believe it. Like, why would they do this to us? They wouldn't do that. But I'm here to tell you, oh yes, they absolutely would do that. The rulers of this present darkness are the worldly governors of this world, the evil ones who are after your soul, however they can get it. The lies and deception and the evil practices of the governors of this world are all a part of the design to deceive you. And there will be some people who take some of this to heart and find it to be a reason to pray and seek God, that his will be done in this earth. Stay prayerful, watch the skies, and pray that God gives us discernment to understand and have power and spiritual strength, and that God would place his seal on us during this time. Seek God while he may be found. Once again, I love you all. Stay blessed.